Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for mid-September 2023. We're actually going to just do a little Celtic Cross here for this half of the month, whatever you want to call it, and that's going to be that. So let's see what is coming up for you here, Pisces, for the middle of the month. And we are going to go through and clarify this as well. You have the, well, it's looking good already, which is great. And you have the Lovers as your kind of current general energies, or your present position in a Celtic Cross. And so I do feel some of you could be thinking about love, but you have the King of Swords as your crossing energy, which would kind of represent, being cold to love or being closed off to love, or, something along those lines. Again, we are going to clarify through. So we will see, what else comes up, but you do have the Lovers. If it's not love, I also feel that you clearly have a choice to make. I mean, Wheel of Fortune, Sun to the Two of Swords, The Two of Swords is about needing to get to that new island behind her, as I always say. I'll show you in a minute. But it's like you need to, and sorry, this is going to drive me crazy if it's not in the right positions here. There we go. Again, as I was saying, she needs to get to that new island. She's only thinking that her life can be like this or that. And, as always, I mean, I think part of what you have to work on is kind of exceeding your own expectations, especially with Saturn and Pisces. It's like Saturn and Pisces is not necessarily easy, but, I don't think it's that hard either. And we have Neptune there, giving you a bunch of wild dreams. And Saturn is like, okay, are you just going to stare at these things? Or are you going to pick the paths that lead you to, a dream life? And again, the choice is yours. It's like you can stay where you're at, or you can create some really great improvements. And, I think that, obviously picking some great improvements would be a excellent choice, plain and simple. So again, this could be love, but, I really feel that there's kind of like a path, it's like a path to your destiny or whatever. I mean, it looks really good. You have the King of Swords here as your crossing energy. Again, if you do want love, I feel like warming up. I mean, you have the Sun, the Empress, like very attractive at this time. The Empress is coming up in your future feelings. So, literally could be saying that you are feeling very attractive in the future, or that you're attracting a lot of abundance, clearly. But the King of Swords is kind of like, the crossing energy is what helps you or hurts you in a Celtic Cross. It can also just be both, So I think like part of it is the curse of knowledge with the King of Swords. Like, a lot, and because of that, I feel that, that can prevent you from taking action on things. So I do feel the King of Swords for the middle of the month here, it's just asking you to be open to being wrong. You even end with the Knight of Wands, And I don't mean like wrong in a bad way. I mean like wrong in a good way. Like you think that your business can only reach a certain level, but really can come up here. So be wrong like that. Be wrong in the positive direction. And I really feel that's what the Knight of Wands is saying, because he represents flexibility and, being flexible, being spontaneous, taking advantage of spontaneous opportunity. So don't just like, if you get a random opportunity in the middle of the month, definitely popping into my head right now. It could be anything for like work, business, love, whatever. I would take those, and don't just like assume that things are going to go in a certain direction, right? Like allow things to surprise you is what I feel like this reading is kind of saying. The King of Swords, he is also kind of, like I said, he can be cold, so, I would just warm up with that Sun card. Next, in the position of what's on your mind, you have the Wheel of Fortune. I kind of just feel improvement, and, I feel like taking control of your life in general. The wheel is always spinning. The wheel is our personal vision for our life. It kind of represents our destiny, but it's our destiny as we see it. It's like what we think our destiny is, not necessarily the universe, if that makes sense. And, with the Wheel of Fortune, I always say, like, we want to really make sure that we, if you're truly in control of the wheel, you see good things when they enter into your life and you double down on those things. Not enough people do that. Like, we should be doubling down on the things that make us successful and doing them more. I've been working with some people on YouTube, helping them with their channels and stuff. And I was talking about this the other day, how, a lot of like the top YouTubers, they take their most popular video and they just recreate it like 20 times. There's like some dog training dude on YouTube. He's created like the same puppy biting video, I kid you not, like 100 times, right? And why? Because it's like his best video. And some people haven't seen it, so he just keeps recreating it and making it better. He makes it better every time. But that's like a perfect example of the Wheel of Fortune. You can take something in your life that's doing well, and it's like, how can you recreate it? How can you get more out of it? How can you do more with it? And that's exactly what I would do with the Wheel of Fortune. The other thing is when challenges do show up, you don't run away from them. You face them, you conquer them head on, and that's what I would do here with the Wheel of Fortune. In your current foundation, you have the Five of Swords. I'm like wondering if you've been hurt recently or something like that in a relationship because, again, this is he's kind of winning the guy at the front here. He's winning at all cost, but he is also kind of guarded. He is a little bit jaded as well. So, I feel for some of you, you could be healing or kind of like overcoming, some sort of hurt or something that did hurt you in the past, something like that. You even have the Nine of Wands in the energy that is passing at this time. This is, the past energy, but it's kind of like what you are moving past. So I kind of like this because, again, in your very near future, you have the Sun, which that really tells me that you are, really opening up, that you are kind of really warming up, and maybe you're kind of letting go of this wounded warrior energy. Again, we're going to clarify in a minute, and we'll see. You have the Sun here in your very near future, so a lot of happiness, a lot of joy coming in for you here. I feel like the one little bugaboo in this reading is that Two of Swords, right? I feel the Two of Swords. I'm not even worried about the King of Swords. I'm more worried about that Two of Swords because I feel that is like I just see you knowing that you should do things and then not doing them. And I'm not calling you out here. I'm a Pisces. I get it, right? I do this all the time. It cracks me up that I did that video about like why Pisces is so creepy. And so many people came at me. I'm like, I'm talking about myself here as well. People, right? So again, I'm not calling you out here, Pisces. I get it. But again, I feel there's like things that you should do and you're not doing them with the Two of Swords. So again, I would make sure to work those things into your day. It could be like for your health or your wealth or your happiness or whatever. I would be like working things into your day. That's how it's popping into my head with the Two of Swords. But I also feel that, again, I feel you need to focus on your own happiness. We even see this right here. It's funny that we go like this. We go Five of Swords, Sun to the Empress. This right here is choosing yourself. Wheel of Fortune could be a person trying to return from the past. Maybe they once made you happy, but Two of Swords says either this person is confused or they can't make a decision. So, again, especially if this causes you to not make decisions here, Pisces, I would avoid this person at all costs because Two of Swords is, again, well, we're going to jump to it right now. It's coming up in your, this is coming up in the next few months, right? The Two of Swords. And she needs to get to this new island. Like, she's thinking that her life can only be this or that. I do feel there's like a need for you to, play with that Neptune and Pisces energy and kind of like dream bigger because, it's like there might be options that you're not seeing. I would also trust your intuition with the Two of Swords because I feel like your intuition is kind of trying to guide you. I feel this feeling of your intuition is you kind of know that there are certain choices that you have to make. The other thing about her is that she's worried that she's going to be hurt by these two rocks that are in the water there. But if she were to take her blindfold off, she would see those rocks. So there's really nothing for her to worry about in kind of like moving on in her life and moving on to bigger and better things. And I really feel like that's what this reading is talking about. It's like saying, right now you're at this like certain place and there are bigger and better things on this new island, and that's what I would move towards, is the bigger and better things. Yes, they're bigger. Yes, they come with more responsibilities or actions. And I'm speaking very generally because I feel with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's kind of like these bigger and better things are coming in all areas of your life, and that's what I would move towards. Next, you have this the Six of Wands in the area of your closest relationships. So pretty successful card. I would be a little bit careful right here of jealousy or jealous people or something like that. I feel like you've had jealous people before. So I would be like just slightly protective. Don't be paranoid, but again, if someone seems jealous or if it seems like they're getting jealous or whatever, I would be careful, draw boundaries, or do what you have to do. He has earned his right to be on top of this horse. So again, a lot of your readings talk about the attention that you're going to be getting here, Pisces, and again, it makes perfect sense with your astrology that in the near future, over the next few months and especially the next few years, it's just going to increase the amount of attention that you can get. But I always say that like Pisces are kind of sleepers. I think that Pisces, people always underestimate Pisces, and then Pisces always blows up, and then you have the jealous people that are like, oh, you got lucky or whatever. So just block those people out with the Six of Wands is what I would say. Because again, I see a lot of success here. Next, for your future feelings, damn, love it. Showing up as the Empress, you're showing up in a position of power and strength and also abundance. So I feel like you're feeling very abundant. I kind of feel you also know your power. It's almost like something is going to be happening, I would say especially over the next few years. I really see this, especially for those of you that do the work. It's like you're going to be in a position where you're going to start understanding your true like power. And she wields her power in the right way. She's not like a jerk. She does the right thing with her energy, right? And she knows how powerful she is. And it's like when you know how powerful you are, you actually become more powerful, because then you can use your power. And that's what I feel is kind of going on here. For your outcome here, you have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a card of adventure, or going on some sort of adventure. So I do feel a lot of you, it could be a very adventurous time, or you could be going on some sort of adventure here. And I feel it'll be very exciting, especially if you're like traveling or doing fun things. I would also say that you're learning to be more flexible, or, you're learning how to be more spontaneous, how to, more embrace the spontaneous energies that exist in the world, and, how to kind of go with the flow more, like being your true Pisces self is kind of like what I'm getting here. So I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of, that's, the direction that you're going in. So we're going to clarify with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and we're going to see what else wants to come up here for you, Pisces. Let's see. With the Lovers and the King of Swords, you have this Enterprise card. Yes, love it. Definitely could be working on like a business or work. If you are working on a business, I see a lot of success coming in for you. It's like the stars are aligning. Look how there's this hand, it's kind of like whatever you call that, palmistry or whatever, right? And it's almost as if you're doing something that you're destined to do. And by working on it, you're just becoming successful, but it's because you're working on it. And so I feel there's just a lot of success, a lot of abundance coming in for you here. So love it. I also do feel that there could be kind of like divinely guided love, although I wouldn't really call this a love reading. There is the Lovers here, but again, I'm not so sure that there's anything coming in like right now. With the Wheel of Fortune in the area of your mind, you have this empathy card. I feel like you have a lot of empathy, but I also feel kind of, you see how there's that child with the dog. Dogs kind of represent companionship, and I feel that you're more having empathy for yourself. I feel like you're in this position where you're saying, I'm going to really have empathy for myself for once. I'm not going to like self-sacrifice any longer, and I'm going to pay attention to my own needs. And that's what I feel like you're doing here. You're really nurturing yourself. And because of that, again, that is true Empress energy. When you choose to nurture yourself, when you choose to be kind to yourself, and all that other good stuff. So that's what I would pay attention to here, is your own self-care. You see there's also a bird that's going to that ear, and I feel some of you, birds are messengers, so you could be getting messages at this time, and these messages could be kind of telling you to go in a direction. So I would pay attention to your intuition and what your intuition is telling you. With the Five of Swords, yes, you have this isolation card. So I feel that a lot of you need to come out of isolation. I feel you have isolated yourself. You could have been hurt in the past, and this could have caused you to isolate yourself. But I do feel that you are warming up. Like I said, with that Sun card, it is almost like you are, stepping into this period of like warmth and happiness and just like good things coming in for you. So, I feel like I would encourage you to get out. I would encourage you to meet people. If you are meeting a person, I like how this lady, she's like pulling on this guy here. So again, there could be a person who's coming in for you, and they could be, really kind of breaking you out of your shell, or making you feel like the Empress, or whatever you want to call it. So I would encourage you to, kind of like get out of your shell here. With the Nine of Wands in the past, you have this optimism card. Like, I feel that you never give up. I think that's the part of Pisces, right? Is that Pisces really never does give up on anything. I have not met very many Pisces that quit. So, the Nine of Wands is a card of never quitting, is a card of perseverance, and, it's kind of a card of persistence as well. So I feel that you are kind of like very persistent, or there is some sort of, persistence that you are working on at this time, and that's what's making you very successful. I feel like there's so many things that you can be optimistic about. It's kind of funny as well. I'm getting like, some of you, I feel like you feel you're too optimistic, like that maybe it hurts you sometimes, but at the same time, like, I would encourage you to do that. I always tell people that, like, it's like, I'm like super optimistic about everything, and sometimes things, get me down, or things don't work out or whatever, but at the same time, like when I'm right, again, Wheel of Fortune, that optimism allows me to double down on things and make them even more successful. So, again, I think that your optimism could be actually very helpful for you, and I think you have a lot to be optimistic for in the future as well here, Pisces, clearly. With the sun, you have the exaltation card. I mean, the sun is exalted, so there you go. I feel like the universe is supporting you in the very near future. You are going to feel great in the very near future. I feel like you're feeling, like I said, supported. I feel like you feel like the universe is on your side, like the universe has your back, like the universe wants more for you and all this other stuff. Like, damn. I definitely like this. And I also feel something, for those of you that are working on a project, it's like meant to be. And I also feel it's going to last a lot longer than any old project. So especially for those of you who have like a side hustle, side gig, side business, YouTube channel, whatever it is you want to do, I really feel that it's kind of like what you're meant to do, if that makes sense. And it's probably going to evolve and change over time, but I really see something coming in for you here where it's like you're just working on it for many years. It could be like a long-term project or writing a book, and maybe you write multiple books, whatever it is. Like I said, it looks great. With the Two of Swords, you have this innovation card. This is why you are not going to that new island here, Pisces, right? Innovation is all about getting arrows in your back. They always say that the person who's first to do something, they get all the arrows in their back, meaning that they have to deal with all like the regulation, the rules, all making the mistakes and all this other stuff, right? But Pisces truly are the innovators. Everybody says Aquarius. This right here is Jupiter in Aquarius, right? So this card, so... like I said, it's like everybody always thinks Aquarius is the innovator, which is true. But it's like if you look at some of the best innovators that have ever existed, they're all Pisces. I mean, Steve Jobs was a Pisces. It's like the list goes on and on. I can't think of any others right now, but because I'm trying to prove a point. But again, it's like you are doing something that's never been done before. I said this to you, I think, in your last reading as well. I think that you, Pisces is their own worst enemy, right? I'm a Pisces. I totally get it. I'm not calling you out, like I said. And what I would say is that you thinking that like, oh, I have to live my life like these other people, that is Pisces' problem, right? We are weird. Pisces is weird. We are meant to be creepy. We're meant to, do weird stuff, right? So I would say don't try to be like anyone else. And it's like, yeah, people are going to think you're freaking weird until you pull up in your like brand new Ferrari, right? So it's like, it's like, are you really going to let that stop you from being successful? People like, or comparing yourself to other people or thinking that things have to go a certain way. Like if you're starting a side hustle or side business, it's not going to be like how it has been for other people. So again, I would be careful of comparing yourself. I feel like you need to innovate. And again, you might be thinking this or that, but there could be very innovative ideas that kind of like, I'm getting like breathe new life into projects that you have. So a lot of you could be kind of like really, breathing new life into your ideas or the things that you're working on in life. And, I would do it. Looks very good. With the Six of Wands here, you have this devotion card. The Six of Wands is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. And again, I do feel you could be attracting a person. I love this card. How cute is this, right? There's a bird with a dead bird. It's like till death do us part. And I feel like you could be attracting a person where it's like they really are devoted to you, or they really do want like a very strong connection. This person could be like a Pisces moon or a Sagittarius moon is popping out to me. You also have Taurus moon as well. It's weird they have all these moons. So, again, they could be like a Taurus moon, a Sag moon, or a Pisces moon that's coming in for you. Again, I don't recommend asking someone for their astrology information on the first date. I would wait until... I don't know, like 3-4 dates in, then you can let the crazy out, right? But before that, like, don't. With the Empress, you have this resistance card. This is the only thing that's going to stop you. Again, I would read the book, The War of Art. I've read it about 20 times this year because I keep recommending it. And it's by Stephen Pressfield. And no, I am not talking about the art of war. I'm talking about the War of Art. And it is an excellent book. It's all about resistance, overcoming resistance, when you feel resistance, blasting through it. So, I feel that really, in that book, he says, we feel the most resistance when we are closest to our goal. So, I feel like you're feeling resistance because you are very, very close to accomplishing great abundance, but you have to like push through that point, right? And with the Knight of Wands, yes, you have the Sun in Aries. So right here with the assertion card, I'm telling you right now, I mean, I think not only do I think you should be assertive at this time and like really go for something, go for the gold here, Pisces, something big. I don't remember exactly what I said on the Two of Swords, but it's almost like bigger and better is I think what I said, right? But again, it's going to require confidence and assertion and for you to, maybe overcome some limiting beliefs and things like that. But if you do it, there is a ton of freaking success here in this reading. This reading looks amazing. Probably one of the better readings I've done for you in a while. So we're going to keep this going and just make it even better, apparently, because damn, this looks good. You have this goldfish card. It says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. I told you at the beginning of the year in your yearly readings at the end of this year, like the last 3 months, we're going to be freaking amazing. So, it's like, don't say I didn't warn you. I told you. And, here you go. This is a very good reading. Again, it's not going to be easy. It's funny because something kind of struck me this morning. I was looking at the comments and someone said, they said, oh, why is it that your predictions never come true? And I said, well, and it just hit me, and this is not a comment on the comments, by the way. This is just an observation that I had. It's like the people that say stop looking at the comments are more annoying than the people who leave the comments. So if you do that, I'm just going to ban you, right? But so this is an observation. It's not me being upset or angry or anything like that. It was like I woke up. I see what's going on here. I don't make predictions. These, tarot is meant to be guidance, right? And so it's like, yes, I do feel like this is going to be work, rant over, but, I feel like this is going to require work, but if you do the work, you're going to be very successful. You have this dog card that says, what does it say? Protection from a powerful friend. So I do feel like someone is protecting you. You have the dog here on the empathy card as well. I mean, Pisces is notorious. It's like Pisces always has to be their own best friend, right? And so, I kind of feel like but now that you could be finding a person who really is a friend. You have this happiness card and this torch card. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. There is a lot of happiness coming in for you. And you have the sun, the exaltation card. So I do feel like you are going to be very happy. You have this sunrise card. It says new creative idea. Damn, new ventures and a fresh start. That's what I'm talking about right here. Any of those new innovative ideas. Again, you could have an idea. It's like any idea where you feel like you're either crazy or where you feel that people won't understand or whatever. I feel that this is saying people aren't meant to understand you. Like, for whatever reason, I've had multiple people in my life who say, who have said to me, like, people never understand me. And I always look at these things because I'm like, what is the universe trying to tell me, right? And what I've realized about these people is they don't try to be understood, right? So I feel like this reading is saying you need to try to be understood. Put your information out there. Who cares if someone understands you or doesn't? It's going to be valuable to someone. You have this V card. It says victory in some endeavor. Definitely victories coming in for you. You have this funnel. It says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Nine of Wands. I feel like there have been frustrations, but clearly very positive reading. I feel like things are bigger and better. Things are going well. So this is one heck of a reading here. I don't know. I don't see anything else. I think I just gave you like a million things. So there you go. Thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.